Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra, known as gain_strength_ on Instagram. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before starting with today's video, just remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos, and hit the thumbs up on this video. Okay, so about a week ago or so, my husband sent me a video of a freak accident that happened in a gym in Mexico, which prompted this video. You can fast forward. I'll put the timestamp here when I finish talking about the video in case you don't really want to hear about it. But basically, it was this lady and her daughter. Based on what I've read and what I understood, it was their first time at the gym. Maybe not their first day, but they were newbies at the gym. So the lady was going to squat and she loaded the bar up with, I think it was like 160 kilograms or 180 kilograms, which is a ton of weight. And so in front of her, she had a bench placed underneath the squat rack. She gets under the squat rack, but the bar was placed low enough for her to be sitting on the bench. So she was gonna essentially start the squat from down up instead of from up down. We're talking about a ton of weight on the bar, right? Unfortunately, she tried to lift it, wasn't able to, or I think maybe she like lifted it up and then started coming back down. Thing is, it fell forward onto the bench and basically got stuck between the bench and the bar, couldn't get up. It took a while for people to come over and help and lift her up. So unfortunately, it did not end well for her. You know, I was watching this video and I'm like, oh my goodness, so many things from the start were just wrong, could have been avoided. So that video kind of prompted today's topic, which is on how to stay safe at the gym. So let's start with the squat rack. I see a lot of people not setting up the safety clips, or you can lift or lower depending on your height, depending on what exercise you're doing. If you're doing a squat, for example, you're gonna lower it down. If you're doing some kind of like overhead press, you're probably gonna lift it up a little bit higher. But I don't really ever see people adjusting that to make sure that if they fail the lift, the safe bar will be there to help you basically not get crushed with the weight. So that's the one thing. If you're gonna be squatting, make sure you adjust that to your height so that it allows you to be parallel. So you wanna be at least parallel, 90 degree, you know, when you're squatting. Now, another thing that I see at the squat rack is people not setting the bar at the correct height. When you're gonna squat, you come up under the squat rack and you want it to be at a height that your knees are slightly bent, but you don't wanna be almost squatting and then stand up and lift the weight. So adjust it to a height. I kind of have it so that it's somewhat to my shoulder height. Then I'm gonna come under it and then stand up. You also don't want it to be too high up that you're having to go on your tippy toes in order to lift the bar up and then walk. Again, make sure that you adjust the height of the bar, of the actual bar, to be at a good position that allows you to safely remove the bar. And then you'll want to take about 3 steps back. Even sometimes I struggle with this, is I'll take so many steps back that I'm already losing so much energy in trying to position myself. So limit yourself to at least 3 steps in order to start your squat. Now, if you're like, okay, my gym doesn't have a squat rack, it just has a Smith machine. The Smith machine also has safety clips. So make sure you're also using those. If you're using the Smith machine to bench press, make sure you adjust it to a good height so that the bar doesn't get trapped right on your chest if you fail your lift. Make sure you use the safety clips when you're going to squat to make sure it allows you to come to a good position. It will be a little bit different with the Smith machine because bar's on a track, so it's not gonna come forward, it's not gonna come back, but you still wanna make sure that you set those safety clips. Now let's move on to bench press. You know, I always see a lot of people use the clips to hold the plate in place. I would not recommend you to use the clips. So what would happen is if you're trying to do the bench press and you fail the lift, you can just tilt the bar one way and the plates will fall on that side, and then you can tilt it the other way and then the plates will fall. And that's a good way for you to avoid, if you don't have a spotter, of course, it is a good way for you to make sure that you don't get trapped and choked, you know, with the bar. So do not use those safety clips. If you're gonna ask someone to spot you, you can always ask them like, are you comfortable with helping me if I fail this lift, depending on how much weight you use. If someone's trying to bench press like 3 plates and they ask me, I probably would be like, maybe try asking somebody else. So, you know, always ask the person like, are you comfortable spotting me at this weight? Okay, now let's talk about the leg press. This one's specifically for the leg presses that are angled. not necessarily the ones where you're sitting down and you're just pushing with your legs. So this one has kind of a little adjustment in the center. The thing that's in the middle is going to stop the plate if you fail. So you want to make sure you set it at a correct height so that you're able to really get full range of motion as you're doing the leg press. But you also want to have it at a position where you're actually able to, if you fail, you're able to get off safely. The other thing you want to make sure is that before you add the plates, the machine will have, for the most part, they have two settings. One where the leg press plate will be closer to the bench at starting position, and then one that has it a little farther away. Always make sure that that plate is at the correct height, especially if you're someone who's shorter. Before starting, check that out, see which height works better for you. Then add the plates and then start your leg press. Now, you can be very safe with using the equipment and all of that thing, but you also have to be safe with your body. So what I'm referring to is you want to make sure that you warm up and you cool down. I see this a lot where people will just come, walk into the gym, they'll head straight to the bench press, load it up with 245s, and just hammer out a couple sets. You cannot just walk into the gym and start lifting heavy. Well, you can, but you shouldn't.
I can't. Well, can, but won't. Should, maybe, but sure.
Make sure you're warming up. At the beginning of your workout, you want to stick to dynamic stretching. So these are types of stretches that will warm up your muscles, your body, in order to get you prepped for what you're going to be doing. I also like to include a couple exercises that will mimic whatever exercise I'm going to be doing. So for example, if I'm going to be squatting, I like to do a couple of body weight squats before I even head over to the squat rack. I like to do a couple of walking lunges, warm up my quads, my hips, that kind of thing. If I'm going to be doing shoulders, I'll do some kind of shoulder warm up, usually some external rotation with plate or something of the sort, or a band. And then once I actually start working out, I'll do, for at least my compound exercises, I'll do a couple of warm-up sets. When you finish with your workout, you always want to cool down. I will admit, I'm not the best at cooling down. Like, I don't take that long to cool down. But you want to take some time to get your body temperature back to rest, back to its normal state. That's usually when I'll implement some static stretching. So take some time to cool down to bring your body back to its normal state. But yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to chat with you guys about today. I know this was a very short, straight to the point type video. I hope you guys found these tips helpful. I know that a lot of the times using like those bigger machines, like the squat rack, the bench press, leg press, those can be a little bit intimidating. At least I know for me, when I first started working out, those were kind of the stuff I avoided because they were just so intimidating. And I will wrap this up. Again, like I said, I hope that these tips helped you. Maybe I missed one or two. Let me know in the comments if there's a specific one that you want me to talk about on how to stay safe using that machine. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up on this video, and share my channel with your friends and family and have them subscribe. Yeah, I have to go plow our driveway because we got dumped with snow yesterday. So I'm gonna go do that. You guys have a great one. Thanks for watching.